This conference will now be recorded.
I just want to have some two-way interaction, so that's the reason I'm asking such nothing else.
It's totally fine.
So we have seen. I think we have not started about interface, right? We are just going with an abstract, right?
Yes, not with the interface.
Yes, and what we discussed yesterday about the rule for access specifiers, right? So what is a rule?
Right,
Rule.
public, private, protected,
So you
default.
remember, so when you are trying to do override, so what is a mandatory rule that you need to follow? You should not be able to reduce the accessibility. You can increase only the
Yes,
access, right?
exactly. Yeah.
And today we'll be seeing about the interface. So is an abstract class can have a concrete methods? Concrete methods is nothing but a method with a logic, right? It can an abstract class can have methods with having a logic, right? So, but you have a concept called interface. In this interface, what happens? You will not be having concrete methods. It means you will not have any method with having a body. So whatever the methods that you have declared in interface, obviously they are an abstract method. So you cannot, as per 1.7, you cannot have a method in interface and you without an so like whatever the method that you write in interface, for sure it should be an abstract. So you cannot even you cannot write a normal method, a method with logic in an interface. So but in case of an abstract class, that is not the case, right? You can write both the methods, a method without body and method with body. Method without body is nothing but an abstract method. Even a normal method that can be written in abstract class, but when it comes to interface, only you are allowed to write only the your abstract methods. And if you see for an interface, it is not required you to keep in a keyword called abstract. But when it comes to an abstract class, it is required to keep a keyword called abstract before you write a method. If you're not keeping that, it will show me an error. Why? Because in an abstract class you have two methods, like two kinds of methods can be written, but in case of interface you cannot write two kinds of methods, only one kind of method that you'll write, only the abstract methods. So that's the reason it is not it's not mandatory to keep a keyword called abstract there. So if you don't keep, if you keep the abstract keyword or don't keep, it will not make any sense, it will not make any difference. We'll see that. So how you declare an abstract class? By just stating an abstract and class name, right? When you want to declare an interface, how you'll do it? Interface the name of an interface. So I'm declaring a name of some interface called A. So I'm just opening an interface and I'm just closing this interface. So in interface, what you are allowed, you are just allowed to write only the abstract method. I will be writing void. So what is this method? This is an abstract method. And if you are trying to write a non-concrete method, like if you are trying to write a method with a body, it will be throwing an error in case of an interface. It will not be there in case of an abstract class. So this will show you a compile time error. And here writing an abstract keyword is an option. If you don't write it also, not a problem, because all the methods that you declare interface will be an abstract. So sorry, I think I opened a different project workspace. Sorry, I think system is little slow. Okay, and whenever it case of an abstract, so this is nothing but your compile time error. You can only declare only the abstract methods. So a method ending with an semicolon. So when it comes to an abstract class, so who is going to write the logic for an abstract method? So when you declare a method, obviously the logic has to be written for a method, right? In case of an abstract class, who is going to write the logic for a method? What we discussed yesterday. Anyone?
It's a abstract class. I mean, it's a blank one, right?
Yes.
We are
So
not defining any body or anything. We are just keeping it as a blank. So whenever we are accessing it, then we can use it, right?
my question is generally method purpose of having a method is to have the logic, right? A body, right? So in case
Yes.
of abstract method, you do not have that, right? But someone has to provide the logic for that particular method. So in what we seen yesterday, so who is going to provide the logic for a particular of an abstract method? A class. Sorry?
Child subclass is going to be implement that, but
Yes, exactly. So I was expecting the same thing. So a child class is going to write the logic of your abstract method that is declared in an abstract class. So same way here also you have an interface, right? So where you have an abstract method. So the same rule, whatever you see for an abstract, there is the same rule here also. If for example, in an abstract class, you have 2 or 3 abstract methods. A child which extends that abstract class has to override all that methods. So that is a mandatory case, right? In the same thing in interface. So whatever the class that here for a class you do extends, when it comes to an interface, you will not do an extends, you will do implements. So implements is the keyword that you use for interface, and extends is a keyword that you use for a class level. So who is going to write the logic for this M1 abstract method? A child class which implements the interface A. So we use a keyword called implements. Why? Because this is an interface. So what I'll do, I'll write a child class called class B that implements my A interface. So in this, we are going to write the logic. So here, what is the responsibility of your B class? It is mandatory to override which method? An abstract method that is present in your interface. The same rule that we see for abstract class. So here overriding of which method is mandatory? Your M1 method is mandatory. You cannot declare the M2 method with the body. So this cannot be done in the case of interface. So overriding of my M1 method is mandatory because I have only the M1 method as an abstract method. So I'll be writing a logic in this child class which implements your interface. So can I create an object of an abstract class? No. So same way I cannot able to create an object of your interface. So then for which I need to create an object, the child class which implements your interface. So I'll use a keyword called implements because this is my interface. So assume that your interface is having one more method like void M3. This is also an abstract method. So who is going to write the logic for this? Your same class. M3. So you will be creating an object of your B class here. And for example, if your B class is not writing a logic of M3, what I can do, I can make this B class as an abstract class. So assume that your A is having M1 and M3, right? But your B knows only the logic of M1, but it don't know the logic of M2. So, but what is our condition? Whenever a class implements or extends an abstract class or interface, the condition is it has to mandatory override all the abstract methods that are present. So if it is unable to override any of one of the method, or if it do not know the logic of any one of the method, then for sure that class should also become as an abstract class. Otherwise, it will show me a comparative method. So we had seen that in yesterday also. So I'll just show that the same thing here by taking as an example. One minute.
Are you talking on mute or?
Okay, okay, sorry.
No, no, I just thought that you might be talking on the mute. That's why I
Yes,
just.
yes. So I was just creating an interface. So here interface will be like I'm just taking some RBA, right, as an interface. So why I'm taking like you in India, you'll be having an RBA is like a Reserve Bank of India, which is the main one for all the banks actually. So it will have some rules and regulations that is going to set by an RBA. So you may have this doubts, right? So generally, as I told you, I'll be going more some good examples, why you have this interface and why you have this abstract class and what is the purpose of making a method as an abstract. But here it will be a little example. So here what happens, what is in a Reserve Bank of India will tell is nothing, but it will have some regulations, right? So what is whenever anyone wants to establish a bank, what is the mandatory rule that they has to follow? They need to do the withdraw and deposit, right? So this is nothing but an abstract method that RBI will be giving it. So RBI is just like an APA. It will tell that if anyone wants to, so it is like head of all the banks. So it will tell that you need to do whenever anyone wants to establish a bank, they need to do withdraw and a deposit, right? So, but your RBI will not force that how the logic should be implemented. For example, some banks may have the withdraw 50,000 in a day. Like some banks may have the withdraw for 10, 20,000. The same case falls for the deposit, but it will not force you. But what it will force, it will force that you should have the functionality, but it will not tell you what is the logic that you are going to write behind. The same thing in case of an interface and an abstract classes. So what happens is nothing but interface is like you can take like an APA or something. It is not exactly an APA. I'm just telling like an APA. So what it is going to do is nothing but it is going to give an abstract methods, right? So this interface or an abstract class will be extended or implemented by number of classes, and they are going to write the logic as per the requirement. So I'll try to, after telling this example, I'll try to give some more real-time examples also that makes you more clear on this. So here an interface, what I'm taking, as I told you, an interface should have, so what are the APIs that, so a bank will have a lot of functionalities, but RBI is considering there are two functionalities that every bank has to establish. So then what it will do, it is going to keep the two abstract methods. One is nothing but your withdraw. So every bank has to do a withdraw. And one more is nothing but your deposit. So here, what are this? These are nothing but an abstract methods. So you see, I'm not writing an abstract keyword here. If I write also, that will not, that is not a mandatory. It is by default, every method is an abstract method. So you write, you don't write it as an abstract. But this is not the case in an abstract class. If you are trying, if you are not writing an abstract abstract keyword before a class level, it will throw me an error. So if I'm trying to remove an abstract keyword, it will throw me an error. Why? Because your class will have both the methods. But in case of an interface, you do not have it a normal method. So assume that I'm trying to write a method with a body. It will show me an error as per 1.7. Abstract method should not specify a body. So whatever the method that you declare in interface, by default, it is going to take it as an abstract method, right? So who is going to write the logic for this RBI? Any banks, right? For example, HDFC is a bank or IDBI is a, they are nothing but the banks which are established in India. So they are going to write the logic for this. Is it clear up to this what I'm talking, and is it like you can able to relate it, or
Yeah, no, it's quite clear that that interface is having two methods. One is withdraw and deposit, and other banks, I mean, banks can like RBI example, right? You gave that other banks can using this interface, other banks can do withdraw and deposit in their own.
Yes, exactly. So you have an HDFC and an IDBI, right? So that is the rule that, for example, now HDFC, what it has to do, it has to follow the rules and regulations which is given by an RBI. So for that, what it will do implements of RBI. Implements RBI. So whenever it is doing implements of RBI, you see there was an error. So what was an error? It is going to ask you to override all the abstract methods. That overriding of an abstract methods is mandatory. Add unimplemented methods. What are the unimplemented methods that are present in your RBI? Withdraw and deposit. So I'll just add it. So this is the mandatory condition that I need to do. The same thing I'll do for IDBI also. So IDBI is one of the bank in India, and RBI, HDFC is one of the bank in India. So they are giving a limit of withdrawing of something like 10,000 or something, right? So withdraw of some, so something I'm just having a withdraw of 10,000. I'm just giving, or 20,000, right? So I'm just having a deposit of 50,000. So banks generally do that, right? They will give less and they will take more. So here the same case of an IDBA. So IDBA also will do that implements, and but even when you do implements of RBI, so what is the mandatory condition it has to do? It has to do that overriding of unimplemented methods. So in this case, so this withdraw logic will not be the same as the logic which is written by HDFC. It has given 20,000. It has given that it can give 30,000, right? It will have its own logic. But what RBI will tell is nothing but to have that withdraw method is a mandatory that is going to be told by your RBI, right? The same thing for deposit also. So it may have something like 40%. Okay, you have an interface. This interface is implemented by your HDFC and your IDBA. So, but the logic which is written by an HDFC is different from the logic which is written by an RBI. So I'll create one driver class or something that I have done for nothing, and I'll be driver for interface implementation. I'm just creating a driver something like RBI driver. It's like I'm calling it as a driver because I'll just have a main method here. In application, you'll not be having something like that, but so maybe the spelling is wrong. Fine. So here, what I'll write, I'll be writing a main method. So in main method, if I want to call withdraw method that is present in, if you see withdraw method that is present in my HDFC as well as IDBI. So I can just say so withdraw present in, I can say it as IDBI. So in this driver, if I create an HDFC object, which withdraw method will execute? HDFC sum. I'm having a reference variable called HDFC, something like new keyword and HDFC. And if I call HDFC dot withdraw, sorry, there was some delay. Which method will execute? The withdraw method that is present in, obviously, in your which bank in HDFC, right? So if I am trying to create similarly an object of IDBI, and if I call, which method will execute? The object which is present in my IDBI. So I'll call IDBI dot withdraw. Which method got executed? The withdraw method present in your IDBI, right? So withdraw in HDFC, withdraw in IDBI, because that's what the object that you created it, right? So when I'm creating an HDFC object, can I able to hold it with IDBI? Can I do like this? So here what I'm creating an HDFC object, but I'm holding within a reference variable of HDFC. So can I create an IDBI object and I can hold with HDFC? Can I do in this way? Obviously I cannot do. So which will show me an error, because there is no relationship between your HDFC and IDBI. So this will show for sure a compile time error.
If you disable 11 and 12, so comment it out, then will this work?
11 and 12. What is 11 and 12?
Yeah. Line number 11, 12. This one. Yeah, these two.
Okay.
So will this work then?
Which one?
Yeah, 14. Line number 14.
No, it will not work. That is not related to with this, right? So here, why this?
Okay. I got it now. Yes, I got it now.
Why
Because
this
it is completely different.
Yes. So here you are creating HDFC object and you are holding with an IDBI. There is no relationship between HDFC and IDBI. So that's the reason you cannot do that, right? I'll tell why you need that requirement, right? So, but here in this case, what you are doing, you are creating HDFC, you are holding with HDFC. You are creating IDBI, you are holding with an IDBI. So this is absolutely fine, right? So this is what we generally do. But in what happens in real-time scenario is nothing but you will not be creating every time the same object, right? So in real-time scenario, here you are just hard coding with a new and HDFC, but in real-time scenario, you will not be writing with new HDFC or new IDBI. New class will not create. That class creation happens dynamically. So dynamically means based on the user input, right? So it cannot be only. So I'm taking bank as an example, but in real-time scenarios, it may be based on your application, right? So the object creation will happen based on the user input. So you cannot decide which object creation will happen here, right?
Right. There is some issue with the audio. I'm not able to hear that.
Yeah, me also unable to hear.
Okay, then fine, because I was thinking maybe I'm the only one.
Okay, can you hear now?
Yeah, now okay.
Okay, now okay, fine. Thank you. Okay. So here, what I mean to tell, what I was trying to tell is nothing but generally in real time you'll not be having the same thing, right? It will not be HDFC, it will not be IDB, like that. It will not be there, right? In real time scenarios, it may be anything, right? It may be HDFC, it may be IDB, it may be some Citibank or some objects. Real time you will be creating some other objects. So here in this LHS, right, you should have some constant which should hold any object that happens at real time. So in that case, I cannot do like this. If I am trying to write an IDB as at LHS side, obviously my object should be an IDB, but it will not be the case. It may be HDFC, it may be some other thing. So then this will not be working. So then what you do at LHS side, so this, there are two parts. This is nothing but I'm considering this part has nothing but an LHS. This part is nothing but an RHS, right? So here there is one way that you can hold your child objects. That is nothing but an parent. So here parent can hold your child objects. So instead of writing HDFC or IDBI at left side, what I'll write as an RBI, some RBI equals to. So in this case, what I can do, I can create an HDFC object. This I can do. Even I can create which object? IDBI object. RBI, so RBI equals to RBI. You can say RBI 1, RBI 2 equals to new IDBI. So you see, I have created a HDFC object as well as an IDBI object, but I am having a reference only with RBI as a reference. So why? Because your parent can hold your child objects. So this is what you call it as dynamic binding or dynamic polymorphism in Java, which is very, very important throughout the Java. Not only throughout the Java, when you learn any framework or anything, this concepts will come. Whatever you learn exception handling, there will be this concept. You learn some topic, multi-threading, will, if possible, I'll just try to explore more on that. So whatever you learn, this dynamic polymorphism comes, which is very, very important. And you get to know why this is very important as we go on, right? And as I told you, Java is something when you it becomes very interesting for you when you do that interlinking with every concept that you go on. So it is not like you learn some concept and you just like leave that there itself and you learn some other new, but every concept which you learn will be have obviously the link within the previous. But when you make that very perfect link, it becomes like it will become very interesting. It's not only for Java, right? It's for every thing that we learn, right? So here this is nothing but your dynamic binding. So why this dynamic binding is very important, when you are very like if you are interested in learning of Java, and if you go further, you see this n dynamic binding everywhere, and you see, okay, that is the reason it is like very good, very have a high importance. Dynamic binding and dynamic polymorphism, or I can call this as dynamic polymorphism. And this I will be calling it as static binding and this I'll be calling it as dynamic binding. So I'll tell you why this is a static binding and dynamic binding. As I told you, it is very important. I do not want to break the things. Sorry, today I have some other thing to do. Like it's like little emergency, so we'll have the duration little today. And sorry for that. And I'll just try to end up the session soon today. So I do not want this concept to be breaked and explained. So I have just made a question mark that this is like very important, and I'll be telling you this tomorrow, and I hope you will be joining tomorrow. For that, it is like in a web series, or when you see the movies, they will say that this is very important and you will come tomorrow, right? I hope the same thing that you do. I do not want to tell you. The people who see the recordings also, then they'll say, okay, there is something he said that, okay, very important. Okay, let us join this session. So I just want that to happen tomorrow. Hope you will be joining, and yes.
Sure.
There is. I'm not telling you for you actually. I'm generally telling it's very good, like the people who show that regular interest on joining. But even I'm not telling that, like generally whenever something comes free, we will not be such interested, right? So is it fact, right?
Yeah, that is fact, but we should be grateful that we are getting this, valuable learning as a free, right?
Yes, that will not have. Whenever you paid it, you will see that is worth it. But when it is like, I feel it. So it is like 1 week or something that we have, right? So you can give me any feedback that you are, how you're feeling my sessions. Like, is it, you can able to interact with good, or it's like you can tell something, I can improve some more things, even like how you're feeling, so that I can do some better in my coming sessions also. Is it fine?
Yeah, it's totally fine, because I remember that I was asking one of the concept twice and thrice, and you did it patiently, and it was with the patience, and so
Yes.
it's great.
Yes, thanks a lot. So I will just feel like I just want as it, like when I was learning, like I'll try to interlink the concepts, and I feel that fun of the Java, right? I just want that same flavor to be given to all the people who just joined the session. So I just want that, okay, when you do that interlink, it really looks very good actually. It's just like a movie or something. When you see that a movie, and you will just at a climax or middle, you will see, okay, that was there in starting, okay, that is the reason this is what there. The same thing your Java will also be there, like when you start linking that.
Yes.
It's not maybe Java, it may be everything, but when you make it interesting, only it goods look. Otherwise, it is like, oh, what is this? Is it right? Okay. Hopefully, happy weekend. Like generally, in happy weekend, we'll not connect, but we'll connect in happy weekend also. We'll have the sessions on. So
Saturday and Sunday as well.
And Sunday, and I think Sunday is the last day. Sunday or Monday is the last day of our sessions. So please try to explore some more things also, and you can ask me the doubts. And it is not like I'll be winding up the things, but you can just explore as much as possible, and you can get back to me.
Sure.
Okay, thanks you for your patience, your listening, and sorry for little making this session little shorter. Okay.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.